This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So in previous session we discussed bookmarks, right, with the example and all. So now in today's session, so we will go through these four visuals quickly. After that, we'll get into a Power Query, and Power Query in outside, like they are calling with the multiple names, ETL processing. So ETL processing. So how we perform ETL processing in Power BI, which means in a Power Query only. So there are multiple names for Power Query. Edit query, we used to call it as a edit query. Transform data, there are multiple names. Okay, transform data, there are multiple names for a Power query or edit query or transform data, or some people they call it as a ATL processing. Okay, fine. So let's quickly start with these four visuals and then we'll get into ATL process. Okay, fine. Let's go back to Power BI report. And so here we have this clustered bar chart, clustered column chart, and then 100% stacked bar and column chart. Okay, let's take this clustered column chart. Whatever formatting options we have discussed for these, no, stacked column chart and stacked bar chart. So we have the same formatting options for all rest of the four visuals. Same formatting options, and look and feel is similar. So if you just look at this for all visuals in the first row, no, so look and feel is similar, but there is a small difference among these visuals. So we'll discuss the difference. Okay. So in case I'm just taking a clustered column chart, and we will show each department wise a sum of salary. So department I'm taking in a first group, which is nothing but a parent group, and value section. So each department wise I'm showing a sum of salary on a chart, right? So now we have discussed it, it is similar to a stacked column chart. If you just look at this column stack chart, it is similar to column stack chart. And then when you can see the real difference when you take additional, when you make use of additional features available in a clustered column chart. Here in case of stacked column chart, if you just go back to stacked column chart, right? So over here we can show each job wise sum of salary. We have shown each job wise sum of salary, right? But in case if you want to have two columns on x-axis, two columns, right? This is x-axis and this is a y-axis. That's what we discussed, right? In case of on x-axis, if you want to show two columns like department wise and job wise sum of salary, I want to show department wise, job wise. Under 10th department we have three jobs, right? Let's say three jobs we have, each job wise a pillar, separate pillar for each job. So under 10th department we have a three different jobs. So under 10th department we will have a three separate fillers. Okay. So in case if you want to segregate, okay, if you want to have a two groups on x-axis, then we will take these two visuals. Okay. In case if you are looking for, if you want to show two columns on x-axis, if you want to show only one column on x-axis, then prefer these two visuals, stacked column chart or stacked bar chart. Or in case if you want to show, if you're going to use two columns on x-axis, then prefer this clustered column chart and clustered bar chart. Okay, so let's see. So if you are using a single column, if you are using we took clustered column chart, but we used only single column, right? Then it looks like a stacked column chart. But here we have an additional feature of using another column called search jobs. If you just drag and drop the job into a child group, now it will show you each department wise job. So under 10th department we have three different jobs, right? So if you just place a cursor on this, it is showing 10th department clerk 1300, and 10th department manager 2450 rupees, and 10th department president job. So in x-axis we browse two columns now, each department wise, each job wise a pillars. All right. So in case if you are looking for this kind of a design, then go and take a clustered column chart or cluster bar chart. The difference between these two is uh, vertical pillars, horizontal pillars. That is only the difference between these two visuals, vertical pillars and horizontal pillars. So rest everything is a similar properties. If you go to formatting option, if you remember the formatting option that we discussed yesterday, Any formatting option that you are looking for x-axis, you can find it in x-axis section. The similar properties, right? Font family, font size, and then color and transparency, height, everything. So we discussed this formatting options, right? Fine. Now legend properties. Here you can see analyst, clerk, manager, president, salesman, SSC. If you don't want to have that legends, no, just off this is in. So off this is the legends. In case if you want the legends. Next, zoom slicer, we discussed column data labels. If you want to have a data labels, so it will show you the data labels. If you want to show full amount in data labels, expand this, and over here, so to all, apply settings to all, just inside in, outside in, but display in its is go to values, and there you can see display in its. If you want to show the actual value, none. So now it will show the actual value, right, on each and every pillar. The job clerk 1300. In case if you want to show decimal values, we select over here, increase the font size, increase the font size, right? Fine. So formatting options, everything is similar and same formatting option for all these four visuals. Okay, formatting option is same. Plot area. So we discussed about this property as well, right? In case if you want to set background watermarking image, then we will use this particular property. So you can select anything and you can set it, and you can set the transparency. That's what we discussed, right, in previous session. So rest everything is same, and the only the difference between these two, the only difference between uh, stacked bar, stacked column, and between the clustered and stacked, right? So in a stacked, we can show only one group wise, which means we can select only one column on x-axis. And in case if you want to show, if you want to divide a department into multiple jobs, here we are showing a department wise only, department wise the sum of salary, but we are splitting that amount each department wise. Again, I'm splitting that amount into three jobs wise. So right now I have a two groups on x-axis, right? Department wise, job wise. If you have more than one group on x-axis, right, then you prefer these two visuals, right? So now the difference between these two, clustered column chart and clustered bar chart, is a pillars, vertical pillars and horizontal pillars. Rest everything same. Just if you just take, copy paste, and over here let's take, and you select this. The only difference between pillars, that's everything same. Formatting options, everything you can see same options. Formatting options, zoom, slicer bars, data labels, everything is same, right? Any questions on clustered column chart and clustered bar chart? Any questions? So set the background, borderline, general effects, visual border, and for this visual border. Okay, fine, right? So next, moving to 100% stacked bar chart. Okay, 100% stacked bar chart. You can just try taking multiple columns as well. You can try taking multiple columns. Now, let's take another page. It again, it's a similar only. So just take 100% stack, and over here. So I'll just explain the design when we prefer this particular visual. So on y-axis, x-axis. So on x-axis, let's say for 10th department, and for 20, and for 30. Okay, and here we are showing a salary, where we are showing a salary on 10th department. So everything will be considered as 100%. Everything will be considered as 100%. So you need to select two groups over here. If you're using 100% stacked column chart, 100% bar stacked bar chart, right, we will have to select two columns and x-axis. It's a mandatory two columns. Okay, if you are selecting department number, if you are selecting department number or job, any two columns, right? If you are selecting department number or job, one second. sorry. So in case of 100% stacked column chart, right? So we will have to select two columns on x-axis. So if you're selecting department and job, right? So let's say 10th department sum of salary is 8,000. Consider the sum of salary is 8,000 rupees for for 10th department. Now, if you are selecting 8,000 will be considered as a 100% salary. 100%, 100%. 8,000 will be considered as a 100%. Next, if you are selecting another column on x-axis, then how many departments available under 10th department? How many jobs available under 10th department? There are three jobs, right? So, analyst, president, and then manager. So, 8,000 will be considered as a 100% salary, and in 100% salary how much we are paying to clerk, how much we are paying to president, how much we are paying to managers. If you want to show in this particular way, in this particular presentation, then we prefer, then we it takes care of percentage, it takes care of dividing everything, and it just need, you just take the column, salary column, it takes care of percentage and everything. Okay, you don't need to worry about percentage, everything is designed. Okay, so on the prerequisite is you on x-axis you have to browse two columns, you have to take two columns. And for example, if you are taking department as a parent group, first column, and job as a second column, which means a child group, each department wise it will calculate the sum of salary. Let's say 8,000, 8,000 will be considered as a 100% salary. And if you are taking another column called job, then that 100% salary will be segregated into multiple jobs. Let's say if there are three jobs available under 10th department, and it will split the salary. So like clerk has 20%, and we are paying 30% to president, we are paying 50% to manager. So like this. Okay, so let's show this information to visual. So first, on x-axis I am taking department number, on x-axis I am taking department number, on y-axis I am taking values. So let's take values. See, now everything will be considered 100%. If you see, it is a 100%. Department number 20, sum of salary 10,875 rupees. It is a 100%. Now 30th department salary and 100%. This is a 100%. So if you want to split this particular pillar into multiple, right, then you just take a job and drop it into second group. Now if you see, sorry. So under 10th department, we have a three jobs. That's what we discussed, right? So this is a clerk job, this is a manager job, and this is a president job. So everything will be considered as 100%. Now, in case of a clerk, it is a 14.86 percentage we are paying to clerk, and manager we are paying 28%, and rest of the percent we are paying to president. For president we are paying 57.14%. So we no need to calculate any percentage over here, just select the columns, relevant columns, and drop into the relevant fields, and Power BI engine takes care of a calculation. Okay, and the rest of the formatting options are similar. If you go to formatting options, again all similar options. Okay, and data labels, if you go to the data labels and just expand on just on data labels. So what exactly you want to show here is just see value section. So flow background to pull it up, positions, right? Position inside end, we keep middle and inside center only. So we keep inside center. So now horizontal. So the numbers we always take in horizontal, right? Horizontal looks better, no? Looks good, right? 57.14%, and then your manager is a 28.28%. For clerk, we are paying 14.86%, 14.86. So this is 10th department salary 100% consider అవుతుందండి. So it will not consider the complete salary, total salary consider it. It will not consider total salary. It will consider only 10th department salary, and it will segregate that 10th department salary into multiple jobs wise, each job wise, clerk and manager, and then a president. Any questions on this chart? So values, right? So you have to place a cursor to show values. It will show only percentages. This particular visual is designed to show percentages. It will always show percentage. If you want to show values, your client has to place a cursor. So then it will show job and department number, salary along with a percentage. Okay. It's not that a consistent rule. In next version they might change that rule. Okay, next month of in the next month, in next month version they might embed that as well. Okay, fine. So the difference between bar chart, again the same pillar, vertical pillar and horizontal pillars, that is only the difference. If you take, if you want to have horizontal pillars, that is only the difference between these two. So how you want to manage while designing a report for a client? If you want, in case of you're keen on saving a space, and if this is a effective presentation, presenting horizontal pillars, then you go for it. Okay, rest formatting options, everything is same. Okay. Any questions on these two? 100% stacked bar chart and column chart, enable border. Okay, fine. So next topic. So introduction to Power Query or ETL processing or edit query or transform data. Okay. Okay. So let's have the same structure of the. So I have saved a structure Power BI architecture. Just I'll show you that Power BI architecture first. So I've been drawing a simple diagrams for that. So this is what, like, I got it from internet. Okay. If you just look at this diagram, no, here data sources. So we have been drawing data sources like database. Consider this as a database, right? So this is the same diagram. Okay, data sources could be anything, and SQL server, MS SQL server, or IBDB2 is a database, MySQL server. So MySQL, PostgreSQL, MongoDB. There are various of data sources available in the market. There are 100 plus sources are available in the market, and we'll create a connection to the data source, and we'll fetch that data into a Power BI desktop, and we will develop a reports. And then after developing a report in Power BI desktop, we have two different ways to put it in a server. Then we will publish that report into Power BI service. From Power BI service, a user will take it, or we have another option. In case of Power BI desktop, we can publish the same report into Power BI report server, which we already discussed. With Power BI server we have already discussed. From server we can share with the user, okay, through subscriptions or providing access to the end user. Okay, now let's come back to a Power Query. So where we have a Power Query in this particular architecture. So we import, to develop any Power BI report. To develop any Power BI report, we require data, right? So we require data to develop any Power BI report. So that is the reason we connect to the data source. We connect to the data source, and we import the data into Power BI desktop, right? While importing data from data source into Power BI desktop, if you think the data is not inline, the data is not processed, the data has some junk information, some unwanted information in the file. Let's say you have received one Excel file from the client. Consider you have received one Excel file from the client, and you have to consume the data which is in Excel file to develop any Power BI report. Okay, now that Excel file has some duplicates information, some unwanted, some junk data in the file. If you import the file as it is into Power BI desktop, which may lead to some incorrect presentation, right? Duplicates records ఉన్నాయి అనుకోండి. Let's say product LB క్వాంటిటీ వచ్చి 10 ఉంది అనుకోండి. సో డూప్లికేట్ అయ్యి మళ్ళీ వచ్చేసి మళ్ళీ LB క్వాంటిటీ 10 పడింది అనుకోండి. సో నౌ దిస్ ఇస్ అ డూప్లికేట్ రికార్డ్, రైట్? If you import a duplicate rows, if client mentions the file has a duplicates, and if you still import a file as it is into Power BI desktop, no, then if you are doing aggregations అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుంది, ఈచ్ ప్రొడక్ట్ వైజ్ క్వాంటిటీ 20 అవుతుంది అంతేనా అగ్రిగేషన్ చేస్తే. బట్ client had mentioned that one of the entry is a duplicate, so you remove one entry and show it. So client is expecting LB and 10, but over here if you are without removing duplicates, if you are importing the file into Power BI Desktop, the Power BI Desktop will show 20 as a value, which is incorrect value. Now, so while importing data from data source into Power BI Desktop, right, if the file has some unwanted information, junk data, some duplicates information, then we have a Power Query in place. We have a Power Query. We will go to Power Query and we'll clean the data. We'll clean the data. Cleaning in the sense removing a duplicates, removing unwanted columns. So along with those cleaning steps, we also have a lot of features in Power Query. We can process the data. Basically, we can mention that word to process the data. One of the processing is removing a duplicate. So we will remove a duplicates. We have a lot of options to clean the data. To clean the data in Power Query, we have a lot of options to clean the data. Post cleaning the data, then we'll import the data into Power BI Desktop. Then we'll start designing the report. After designing report, we will publish that into Power BI service. Okay. Now, so in last 9 sessions, we haven't cleaned the data. So we directly imported into Power BI. Now from today, in today's session, I will show you few files having a duplicate, some unwanted information, and will take it through Power Query. In Power Query, we'll remove a duplicates, we'll clean the data as per the client requirement, then we'll take the data into Power BI Desktop. Okay. Any questions on Power Query? Why we require a Power Query in Power BI Desktop? First point, why do we use a Power Query? What is the use of a Power Query in Power BI Desktop? Power Query, different people they call it as with different names. Some people they call it as a Power Query. Some people they call it as a edit query, transform data, ETL processing. So removing duplicates is one processing steps. There are lot of techniques available, lot of features available in a Power Query to process the data. We can mention to clean or to process the data, right? So you will get this question for sure in interview. And what is the use of a Power Query? What is a Power Query? So while importing data, you can mention while importing data from data source into Power BI Desktop, if data has some unwanted information into it, if data has some unwanted columns, then Power Query is one option where we will flow the data through a Power Query. In Power Query, we have ETL options, transform a lot of transformations available inside ETL Power Query to remove a duplicates, to clean the data, to processing the data. After cleaning the data, then we'll import the data into a Power BI Desktop. So basically over here, the Power Query is used to clean or to process the data before importing the data into a Power BI Desktop. Okay, fine. Let's take the file example. Let's quickly discuss the example. Okay, I'll take one file, Power Query. So I'll take one file. So let's take a portfolio details. Let's take a portfolio details. So here we have received this. Consider this is a file from a client, and it has a strategy description and then maturity date and then a currency and market value. Okay. So if you just look at this particular data, there are duplicates. If you just see Allen Brooks 1 42737 CHF 4, and this is a duplicate. These two are duplicate rows, right? So how are we saying it is a duplicate? On what basis? So how are we saying duplicates? So these are two duplicates, right? CV duplicates. These two records are duplicates. What is the condition to say duplicate? On what basis we are saying a duplicate? In this particular case, on what basis we are saying it is a duplicate? So 13, 14 are duplicates. All values are repeating. That is a perfect case, right? So if you are saying say duplicates, if you are using a word called duplicates, right? On what basis you are saying duplicate? That is a important question you have to ask client. If client says duplicates on basis of strategy description, if I say On basis of strategy description, can you identify duplicates? How many duplicates this file consists on basis of strategy description? Just go through the strategy description column and identify how many duplicates this file consists on basis of a column strategy description. How many duplicates values it has? How many duplicate values it has? 11 is the right answer. And on basis of column, if on basis of only column, consider only this column. On basis of only this column, how many duplicates were? This is a original record, consider put it as a original, and this is a original record. Rest all are duplicates. This is a repeating, this is a repeating, and this is also repeating. These are repeating, right? So we have only two unique records. Rest all are duplicates. If you talk about on basis of only one column, if you talk about entire combination, we have only few duplicates. These three are duplicates, and these three are duplicates. Okay, fine. So now we receive this file from the client. Okay, and now we will have to import this data into Power BI Desktop. Before that, we will have to remove a duplicate. So duplicates in remove chasing. Then we will have to import this data into Power BI Desktop for a visualization. Okay. So now close this. So I'll show you how to remove a duplicates. Go to Power BI Desktop, and here we have to click on Get Data option and click on Excel Workbook. So we are going to import Excel file, right? So now here Power Query, select portfolio details and click on Open. Now, in which sheet we have the data? So say sheet 1. So now this file consists of duplicate rows. I don't want to import complete information into a Power BI. Then I have to write a DAX expression. I have to do a lot of things to exclude a duplicate. So if you want to navigate through a Power Query, in case if you want to clean the data while importing anything from any source into Power BI Desktop, if you want to clean this data, if you want to clean or transform this data into another format, then you just note the other point, transform the data into another format. Okay, then we'll click on a transform data option, click on a transform data option. Then it will take you to the Power Query, and here we have a lot of transformations available, and we apply these transformations and we'll delete a duplicate rows. Then we will load the data into a Power BI Desktop. Okay, so just click on sheet. And so on what basis we are saying a duplicates? On basis of entire column combination, right? So if you are saying on basis of only strategy description, no, select the column, and here we have a remove rows option. Click on this. Here we have an option called remove duplicates option. If you just select only this column and if you click on remove duplicates, it will keep only two rows. It will rest everything are considered as a duplicates. That's what we discussed, right? On basis of a single column, if someone asks you on basis of a single column, so we have to consider values under only that column. So now we selected a column and we remove the duplicates, right? But this is not a case. We have to consider all the columns. So if the entire row is repeating, then it is a duplicate, right? After applying a transformation on this data, so if you want to roll back the transformation, right, here Control Z will not work. Here under applied steps, so we did a remove duplicates. No, here you can remove this step to undo that. Okay, so Control Z work. If you want to, in case if you want to remove, if you want to do undo, if you want to undo a particular step, then come to the applied steps. Each and every transformation you perform, that step will be captured under applied steps. You just come over here and cancel that step. Okay, now on column, all column combination means apply duplicate. So select this, control key hold చేసుకొని and select this. Now I selected all four columns. Now if I go to remove duplicates, now it will remove only duplicates. These are unique records. Now so we are done with the removing duplicates. So any transformation which you are performing on a source data, the transformation will be captured in the applied step. The transformation will be captured in applied steps. So if you want, you can rename applied steps, and see if you double click on this, you can just rename it. So just right click or rename. So somewhere there should be rename. So you can rename this step or you can keep it. So okay. Now we removed a duplicate successfully. Now we will have to take this data to a Power BI desktop, right? Here we have a three options: close and apply, apply and close. If you select a close, what happens? Whatever transformations you applied on this particular data set, those transformations will not be saved, and it will come out of this particular Power Query without saving a changes. Okay. And if you click on apply, what it does is like a control S, so it will save the changes. If you click on apply, it will save the changes, but it you will remain on the same screen. ఈ సేమ్ స్క్రీన్ లో అలాగే ఉంటుంది, చేంజెస్ మాత్రం సేవ్ అవుతాయి, changes మాత్రం అలాగే ఉంటుంది. You will remain stay on same screen. Okay. And if you select close and apply, which means apply means save the changes, close means come out of this window. Okay. Close and apply, it will save the changes and it will import the data into Power BI desktop. Any questions? Okay. Let's see, we have imported that file, sheet 1. So now you go to data, grid option, and you can view the data. So we removed a duplicate successfully and we imported only unique records into Power BI. Now we can continue our design, right? Any questions so far? So first point over here is understanding need of a Power Query or transform data or edit query. So need of going through the Power Query. Then we'll see a lot of options in a Power Query. So first advantage, we can remove a duplicates if the client file has a duplicates, and we have a feasibility of removing duplicates in a Power Query. So next case, this is the first case. So case 1, removing duplicates. Let's go to second case, case 2. So case 2. So let's go to the files. So I have received two files from the client. Product information in one file and product prices in another file. So let's open products. So products file has three columns: product ID and product name and a quantity. So product file has a three columns, and if you just go to product prices, so prices information client has provided different file. So each product ID wise price. So there are two files I received from the client. So products file consists of a product name, product quantity, and product price is available under product prices. Okay. You can import these two files separately into Power BI, and you can do a data modeling. We can have a relationship between these two tables, right? So we can have a relationships, but in performance point of view, no. So why can't we join these two files while importing, before importing into desktop? So we have joins available in Power Query. In Power Query, we have a joins. How many joins we have in a SQL Server? Do you remember type of joins? How many joins we have in a SQL Server? What are those joins? So just take out time on it. So how many joins we have in a SQL Server, and what are those type of joins? Inner join. We have five types of joins, right? So including logical joins, it's a six. Okay. So inner join. First one is inner join, left outer join, right outer join, full outer join, cross join, self join. So we haven't discussed about self join, right? Remind me in the end of the session. We will discuss a self join. Okay. If I name last of we'll discuss a self join. Okay, fine. So in Power Query, we have joins. So we have joins. So when we have a joins in Power Query, so I'll take out one simple case. You have to tell me which is the best approach. Which is the best approach? I'll give you both the cases. Okay. I am developing a report. I am developing a report. So as I mentioned, I have received two files from the client. So product information in one file, okay, and product price in another file. Clear. So product file, consider this is a product file, consider this is a price file, consider this is a price file. Okay, price file. So importing both of them into PowerBI Desktop, importing both of them into PowerBI Desktop look చేసేసి, and I'm saving in a memory in import mode only. I'm saving both the tables in memory, and in a data modeling I am joining these two tables. In data modeling I am joining these two tables, and I'm using fields from both the tables in a single visual. This is a design. This is one design. Next design, I am developing this report, Power BI report. Client had provided two reports, two files, product file and a prices file. So I am not going to import both of them into Power BI Desktop directly through Power Query. In Power Query, we have a joins. In a Power Query, I will join these two tables. I will join these two tables by using inner join or left outer, right outer based on the requirement. Okay, I will select type of join in Power Query. Then I will join. Then I'll take only price column from this table and product ID, product name, quantity from this table. I'll make a single table in a Power Query itself. Then I will store the table into a Power BI Desktop as a single table. Then I will use the data from this table into Power Visualization. These are the two techniques. Okay, now this is the first technique, this is second technique. Now go through this design. Personally, which design do you prefer in your requirement? So first one or second one? So go through the design and which one is effective? Which one is effective as per you? This it's a second one, right? I'll give you the reason why second one. I'll give you the reason why. So if you are importing both the files, if you are importing both the files into memory, here it takes more memory to store, first point. Then every time you use columns from those two files, every time you use a columns from both of the files into one visual, right? Every time it goes for a join, every time it goes for a join, every time it builds a relationship every time అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. In case if you are using two columns in multiple visuals, three visuals లో యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారు అనుకోండి, ఈ టూ కాలమ్స్ ప్రొడక్ట్ ఐడి, ప్రొడక్ట్ నేమ్, ప్రైస్, త్రీ విజువల్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాను. క్లయింట్ ఇప్పుడు రన్ చేసాడు అనుకోండి, ఏమవుతుంది, ఈ టూ టేబుల్స్ కి జాయిన్స్ త్రీ టైమ్స్ పడతాయి, ఎందుకంటే త్రీ విజువల్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాం కదా, త్రీ టైమ్స్ జాయిన్ అవుతాయి. మళ్ళీ ఇంకో క్లయింట్ రన్ చేసాడు అనుకో, మళ్ళీ జాయిన్ అవుతుంది. బట్ ఇక్కడ కానీ జాయిన్ చేసేసామంటే ఏమవుతుందంటే, వైల్ ఇంపోర్టింగ్ డేటా ఇట్ విల్ గో ఫర్ జాయిన్ ఓన్లీ వన్స్ అండ్ ఇట్ విల్ బి సేవ్డ్ పర్మనెంట్లీ ఇన్ టు యువర్ పవర్ బిఐ ఫైల్. If client is running this report 100 times, it will not go for a joins again and again. While you refresh, when you click on the refresh button, then it goes to files and it will bring everything and it will go for a join only once, then it will store the data, right? So agreed, the second one is the best approach. The second one is the best approach in performance point of view. If you're not convinced with the description, let me know, I'll take another example. So we can go with any approach, and we can go with any approach, but we have to go with the best approach, right? We have to go with the best approach. Okay, now as per our discussion, second example is the best approach. Now I'm going to import, I'm going to import. So best another example, if you want to give another example, right? సో ఈ టూ టేబుల్స్ని, ప్రొడక్ట్ ప్రైజెస్ టేబుల్ అండ్ ప్రొడక్ట్ టేబుల్, టూ టేబుల్స్, ఇప్పుడు ఈ టేబుల్ వచ్చేసి 1 KB అనుకోండి. దీంట్లో వచ్చి టూ కాలమ్స్ ఉన్నాయా? ప్రొడక్ట్ ఐడి కాలమ్ ఉంది, ప్రైస్ కాలమ్, టూ కాలమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా. దీంట్లో వచ్చి త్రీ కాలమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ఇంపోర్టింగ్ దీస్ టూ ఫైల్స్ డైరెక్ట్లీ ఇన్ పవర్ బై డెస్క్టాప్, ఎన్ని కాలమ్స్ స్టోర్ అవుతాయి ఇక్కడ? ఇన్ టోటల్గా 5 columns, రైట్? 3 columns ఫ్రమ్ ప్రొడక్ట్ టేబుల్, 2 columns ఫ్రమ్ ప్రైస్ టేబుల్. ఇన్ టోటల్ ఎన్ని కాలమ్స్ స్టోర్ అవుతున్నాయి ఇక్కడ? సో సేమ్ ప్రొడక్ట్ ఐడి కాలం టూ టైమ్స్ స్టోర్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడ చూడండి ఒకసారి, ప్రొడక్ట్ ఐడి ఫ్రమ్ ప్రొడక్ట్ టేబుల్, ఈ ప్రొడక్ట్ ఐడి ఫ్రమ్ ప్రైజెస్ టేబుల్. సో సేమ్ కాలం ట్వైస్ స్టోర్ అవుతుంది, అంతేనా? ట్వైస్ స్టోర్ అవుతుంది. జస్ట్ రిమైండ్, కీప్ దట్ పాయింట్. And if you go with this approach, here we will make a join and we'll select only one product ID. ఒక ప్రొడక్ట్ ఐడి సరిపోతుంది కదా మనకి, జాయిన్ చేసేస్తే ఇక్కడ. సో ఆఫ్టర్ జాయినింగ్ ఐ విల్ టేక్ ప్రొడక్ట్ ఐడి, ప్రొడక్ట్ నేమ్ అండ్ quantity and price. Only I'll take 4 columns. ఆ 4 columns మాత్రమే తీసుకొస్తాయి ఇక్కడ. Okay, so first point, I'm saving space. First point, I'm saving a space. సో స్పేస్ సేవ్ అయితే ఏమవుతుంది, ఆల్రెడీ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఇంప్రూవ్ అవుతుందా, టైమ్ ఫర్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ ద డేటా. సో దట్ ఈస్ వన్ పాయింట్. నెక్స్ట్ పాయింట్, here if you are importing two tables individually separately into a Power BI desktop, then every time you use these columns into visuals. A visual columns వాడారు అనుకోండి, లైక్ డోనట్ చార్ట్ లో కానీ, stacked column chart లో కానీ, stacked bar chart లో కానీ, if you are using these columns, if you are using these columns into any visual, దెన్ ఎవ్రీ టైమ్ ఇంటర్నల్లీ మీకు కనబడదు. ఇంటర్నల్గా ఏం చేస్తుంది పవర్ బి ఇంజిన్, డేటా మోడలింగ్కి వెళ్ళి డేటా మోడలింగ్ ట్యాబ్లోకి వెళ్ళి ఆ రిలేషన్షిప్స్ని ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తుంది. ఓకేనా, యూ హావ్ టు అండర్స్టాండ్ అండి. సో ఇఫ్ యు ఆర్ ఇంపోర్టింగ్ టూ డిఫరెంట్ టేబుల్స్ separately into your Power BI desktop, and if you are using columns from both the tables into one visual, whenever a client executes this report, by the time Power BI engine internally will run the relationship between these two tables. To run a relationship between these two tables, it takes it allocates some memory internally. It takes some amount of time. Okay, but over here we are doing that process only once. We are doing that process, combining, joining, and result we store it over here. And if client is running the same report 100 times anyway, we perform join outside of the Power BI desktop. So here it will not perform a joins and again, which will save a time. Okay, performance side. Any questions now? If you if you if you didn't get the second point, no, stick for first point, stick for a first point. Okay, fine. So now let's go with the second approach. Let's go with the second approach. So I have these two tables. Let's import these two tables and apply the joins. So we all remember joins, right? Inner join, left outer, right outer, full outer, and okay. Go to Power BI Desktop, click on Get Data, and if you think I cannot click on Get Data and I cannot travel this far, ఈ గెట్ డేటా మీద క్లిక్ చేసి ఇంత దూరం రావాలంటే కష్టం ఉందంటే, హియర్ వీ హ్యావ్ అ షార్ట్ కట్. యూ నో నీడ్ టు ట్రావెల్ దట్ ఫార్ అండ్ click on Excel workbook and you select a products table and price. So see, multi selection is not available, and select a products and click on open. Select first and go to transform data. Okay, so now we brought products table, right? This is a products table. Okay, now new source Excel workbook. We have to bring other table as well, right? We have to bring other product price table, Excel workbook, and we have to bring this product prices. Select it. Now we are bringing both. So prices. Okay, so now we have both. This is a product table and this is a, so in case if you have another table, if you have another file to combine, if you have another table to combine, then here we have an option called new source option. Here click on Excel workbook and you can import another Excel file before for joining, right? Just rename it and just rename it as a product, rename changes. So product table, and just rename it as a prices table, okay, fine. Now where do we have a joins? Select this, and if you just see option called, here we have a merge options, merge queries. So here we have a merge queries. Select drop down. If you click on drop down, here merge queries and merge queries as a new, we have a two options over here. If you go with the merge queries as a new, what happens, it will join these two tables. It will join, so this particular it will join these two tables, product table ni prices table ni join చేసి వచ్చిన output, whatever output that we will get after joining, that output will be stored as a separate data set. That output will be saved as a separate data set in the model. Okay, in case if you don't want to save the output of the join as a separately, then we can go with the first option. So you have to try for merge queries. I will take the second option. Okay, merge queries as a new option. Click on this. Then over here, what are the two tables you want to join? What are the two tables you want to join? I want to join a product table and I want to join a prices table. But what type of join you want to have between these two tables? So here you can see inner join and left inner join, left outer, right outer, full outer. I'm not going to explain these joins. We have discussed in SQL, right? Any questions on this join? First, tell me any questions on these joins. Inner join, you remember inner join, right? Inner join, full outer, right outer, left outer. Some of you mentioned is a favorite topic, right? So no need to discuss again joins, right? So we have to select a common column between these two tables to go for a join, right? On condition. So select this. So product ID is a key column, common column between these two tables, and here over here you can select a type of join, which is nothing but a ఇన్నర్ కానీ ఫుల్ అవుటర్ రైట్ అవుటర్ లెఫ్ట్ అవుటర్. సో నా రీసెంట్గా ఏమడుగుతున్నారంటే సో people started answering for these four. We know inner join, we know left outer, we know right outer, we know right outer, left outer, right? So now in interview they started pointing these two joints. What is the left anti, left anti and right anti? What is the left anti and what is the right anti joints over here? Okay, so there is no it's a simple only left anti means it will return all the, it will rows only from left table. Okay, it will, so it will not, we cannot take a price column, right? We want a price column, right? We want a price column, it, but it rows, it returns rows from first table only. ఓన్లీ ఫస్ట్ టేబుల్ నుంచి మాత్రం రోస్ వస్తాయి. బట్ ఆన్ మ్యాచింగ్, ఓన్లీ మ్యాచింగ్ బేసిస్ మాత్రం రోస్ రావాలనుకోండి, దెన్ వీ గో ఫర్ లెఫ్ట్ యాంటీ, అండ్ ఇఫ్ యూ రైట్ యాంటీ రిటర్న్స్ రోస్ ఓన్లీ ఫ్రమ్ pricing table, not from a left table. Okay, so we don't use these two joins in interview point of view. So the you can just prepare these two for inter point of time. Okay, for inter point of view. Now I'm going with inner join. Left anti means all rows from product table. Here product table is a left table. All rows from only product table. It will not take any rows from a price table. Right anti means all rows from a right table. It will not take any rows from a left table. You can try these two out. Okay, simple options. Just select one and click OK and verify what are the rows it is fetching into Power BI Desktop. Okay, click on inner join, and right now I'm going with inner join. And okay, if I go with the inner join, how many records I will get? Look at these two tables. Look at these two tables, and if you go with inner join, how many records it will return? 4 records, right? There are no duplicates, no unmatching records, nothing. So all are matching records. So it will return a 4 records. Perfect case. Click OK. Now I got a result as a separated. See, result with separated save in the. So we can consider this as a products table, products along with the price. Okay. After selecting a join, so you got all columns from product table, product ID, product name, quantity, but I didn't get a price column, right? So it selected all the columns from price table. In case if you want to have a price column, just select this and uncheck product ID, select only price and click OK. See, now we are done with the merging. Any questions on merge queries? So merge queries is an option. You will receive a question in a question on this particular transformation interview. That's for sure. What is a merge queries option in a Power Query? That is a straight question. And in case if you want to perform, I have a two different files. A question they will put in they will frame question different ways. And okay, I have two different files. I want to import them into a Power BI Desktop. Before importing, I want to join them. So how can I perform this activity? So that is a one question. You can mention that in Power Query, we have a merge queries option to perform inner join, left outer join. So we can combine them vertically and we can import the data into Power BI Desktop. That's the simplest answer. Okay. Any questions on merge queries option? So when we go for merge query, to perform inner join, left outer, right outer, to join two tables vertically, so we go to Power Query and we use the merge queries option, right? Any questions? on merge query option? No questions. Fine. Then after performing vertical merging, just close and close and apply. Okay, close and apply. Now let's take a case three. Okay, let's take it. I will not take more than 5 minutes. Let's take a case three and we'll discuss other topics in next session. Okay, let's take a case three. Case two is vertical merging. So you know the topic, right? Vertical merging. To perform vertical merging, we have a merge queries option. Merge queries option in merge queries option. Now case three. Case three. Case three, horizontal merging. If you remember horizontal merging, what is the concept that we can use in SQL Server to perform horizontal merging? What is the concept? What is the concept that we have? You can name the concept or you can ping that four statements, right? What is the concept that we have in a SQL Server to perform horizontal merging? Perfect. Union. So union all set operators. You can mention set functions or set operators. Okay, union all in intersect and except. Okay, so these are four operators we have in SQL Server to perform a horizontal merging. Okay, I'll just give you another example for horizontal merging. So I have received a sales information from the client. So client has provided, the client is doing a business. Okay, he is doing a business, some XYZ business, and he is capturing a business information into some Excel files. Now, so he has provided sales into three different for 3 different years into 3 different files. Okay, if you open 2020, and he said I have I have completed my business in 2020. These are the sales information. This is the sales information. Transaction ID, product name, quantity, price, market value, sell date. Okay, sell date. Right now, so this is 2020 sales. These are the 2020 sales. Now another sales file, 2021 sales. This is the 2021 sales. This is the 2021 sales. Okay. Now సేమ్ మిస్టేక్ ఇక్కడ కూడా ఉంటుందండి సెల్ డేట్లో ఉంటుంది కాపీ పేస్టే కదా మరి ఈజీగా ఐడెంటిఫై చేస్తాం బ్రిలియన్ ఓకే so now we received sales information having a same structure. If you observe same structure, see each and every file has the same structure, and we received 3 different Excel files. This is 2020 sales, 21 sales and 2022 sales. So 3 year sales ఇచ్చేసాడు తను. ఇప్పుడు తను ఏమంటాడంటే consume these three files ని consume చేసి I want, can you show me in one, can you show me uh, in one visual, like go to paint. So in one visual I want to see a sales comparison like this ila. What was the sales in 2020 and what was the sales in 2021 and what was the sales in 2022. ఓకే సేల్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయినాయా డిక్రీజ్ అయినా ఒక లైన్ చార్ట్ లో షో చేయమంటున్నాడు. ఓకే లైన్ చార్ట్ లో షో చేయాలి. ఇక్కడ సేల్స్ అమౌంట్ తీసుకోవాలి ఓవర్ ఇయర్స్, ఓవర్ పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ టైం వాట్ వాజ్ ద సేల్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయినా డిక్రీజ్ అయినా తెలుసుకోవాలనుకోండి షార్ట్ వేలో. ఓకే నౌ 2020 sales we have on a different file, 2020 sales we have in a different file, but 2022 sales we have in a different file. 3 different files లో నుంచి డేటాని తీసుకొచ్చి ఒక ఎక్స్ యాక్సిస్ లో షో చేయలేమని. ఒక కాలం మాత్రమే సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోలేం, 3 కాలమ్స్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకోలేం కదా, మీరు ఆల్రెడీ ట్రై చేస్తుంటారు కదా. సో ఆన్ ఎక్స్ యాక్సిస్ వీ కెన్ సెలెక్ట్ ఓన్లీ 1 column. ఓకే 3 columns సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాం అనుకో, 3 columns మెర్జ్ కాదు. సో నౌ వీ హ్యావ్ టు మర్జ్, we have to merge these 3 year sales, 2020 sales, 21 sales and 2022 sales. 3 year sales ni merge chesi, horizontal ga merge chesi, then we have to import the data into a Power BI Desktop. To merge, to perform horizontal merging in Power BI Desktop, we have a feature called append queries. Append queries is for horizontal merging, merge queries is for a vertical merging. It's very important and so frequent ga adugutunnaru interview. Vertical merging is for merge join, merge queries is for vertical merging, Append is for horizontal merging. What is mean by horizontal merging? So I will open these three files, and so this is the third file, right? Let me open other two files as well. 2021 sales. So 2021 sales ని తీసుకొచ్చుకోండి. సో మనం చేయాల్సిన వర్క్ ఏం లేదు. 2021 సేల్స్ ని తీసుకొచ్చేసి 2020లో మెర్జ్ చేసేయడం ఇలాగా. ఓకే, నౌ గో టు 2020 సేల్స్. ఈ సేల్స్ ని కూడా తీసుకొచ్చేసి అన్ని కలిపి మెర్జ్ చేసేసేయాలి. ఇక్కడ మెర్జ్ చేయండి. Okay, so now we have to merge everything into one. This is nothing but a horizontal merging. Take this rows and merge it, and this rows and merge it. This is nothing but a horizontal merging. So we have received this information we have in one file, and this data we have in another file. This is in another file, right? So we have to club these three into one table. One table, then we'll import this data into PowerBI Desktop for a visualization. Okay. Now close this and let's see how to implement this. Okay. Now go to Power BI and Excel workbook, and first file 2020 sales. Click on open and select the first sheet and transform data. This is 2020, right? Make it as 2020. Okay. Next, import other sheet. Click on new source. Go to Excel workbook. Import 2021 sales. Import 2021 sales. 21 sales. Okay. Rename it as a 2021. Now go and import 2022 sales. 2022 sales. Okay. Now, so we have separately, like we have all these data sets separately, right? 2020, 21, 22. Now let's see. Here we have an option called append queries. So if you just click on drop down append queries, here we have two options: append queries as a new option. So after merging these three data set horizontally, if you want to have a new data set, right, then append queries as a new option. Click on the new option. Then over here, you have to select how many tables you are going to merge horizontally. Are you merging two tables? If you are merging two tables, go with this option, two tables, and select the two tables over here. Okay, select the two tables over here. Right now, we have more than two tables, right? So we have to merge three tables now. So if you have more than two tables, like three or more tables, select the second table, and over here, so 2022-21 already selected, and you select 2020. Select, add. Now these three files we are clubbing horizontally, we will make one file. Click OK. See, now we got this. We can just rename it as sales. So now all three got into one. Simple approach, right? Any questions? So now three data sets ఉన్నాయి కదా, 2020, 2021, 2022. సో త్రీ డేటా సెట్స్ ని మనం హారిజాంటల్ క్లబ్ చేసి ఒకటి చేసేసాం. మనకి ఇది అక్కర్లే కదా. సో అక్కర్లేనప్పుడు ఏం చేయొచ్చు, వీ కెన్ జస్ట్ హైడ్ చేద్దాం. ఐ టెల్ యూ హౌ టు హైడ్ దిస్ అన్వాంటెడ్ డేటా సెట్స్. ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ సెషన్. Just close and apply. If you close and apply, you will get the sales data set. Okay, now as per the client requirement, what he wanted us to show year wise sales. Here we have a line chart. We will take a line chart after clubbing, and then we will take year column. We will take year column on x-axis. We will take a sales amount on y-axis, and we will show it. Okay, sales. Where is the sales data set? Yeah, sales data set. So in sales data set, we don't have a year column, right? So we don't have a year column. So we have a hierarchy. Just take year into x-axis and sales amount. Where is the sales amount? Let's take a quantity into sales amount. ఓకే. సో లైన్ ఫ్లాట్గా ఉందనుకోవద్దు, ఎందుకంటే నేను కాపీ పేస్ట్ చేసే అన్నిట్లో సేమ్ వాల్యూ ఉంది క్వాంటిటీ. సో ఇక్కడ క్వాంటిటీ 2020కి 276 ఉంది, 2021కి 276, 2020 కూడా 276. అర్థమవుతుంది కదా, నేను కాపీ పేస్ట్ చేశాను ఫైల్స్, డేటాని చేంజ్ చేయలేదు. మీరు చేంజ్ చేయండి, క్వాంటిటీ చేంజ్ చేస్తే మీకు లైన్ వస్తుంది ఇక్కడ. ఓకే, ఒక ఫ్లాట్ లైన్ వస్తుంది. సో ఇలా ఉంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటి, 2020లో సేల్స్ 2021 సేల్స్ ఫ్లాట్గా ఉంది. ఓకేనా, సో సేమ్ సేల్స్ ఓవర్ ఇయర్స్, 3 years నుంచి. Okay, any questions, any questions? So that's all for today's session. All values are same. Yes, all values are same, so that is the reason it's showing a flat line. Okay, any questions so far?
This
Yeah.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay, thank you. Okay, look at this data, 7369, and we have a name called Smith, right? So who is the manager, who is the manager for Smith? So manager name enti, Smith manager name cheptanu okasari. Okay, look at this data. Who is the manager for Smith? Smith manager వచ్చేసి ఇక్కడ మేనేజర్ నంబర్ ఇక్కడ ఉంది చూడండి, ఫోర్డ్. మేనేజర్ నేమ్ చెప్పకుండా మేనేజర్ ఐడి చెప్తారండి. ఒక స్మిత్ మేనేజర్ ఐడి ఈజ్ 7902. టేక్ ద 7902 టు హియర్ అండ్ ఫోర్డ్ ఈజ్ అ మేనేజర్. ఫోర్డ్ ఈజ్ అ మేనేజర్. ఓకే, నా ఫోర్డ్కి ఎవరు మేనేజరు? ఓకే, లెట్స్ టేక్ ఇట్ అవుట్, లెట్స్ టేక్ ఇట్ అవుట్. ఎంప్లాయీ, లెట్స్ టేక్ ఇట్ అవుట్. మీ ఆన్సర్ చెప్పగానే తీసుకుందాం. ఎంప్లాయీ, ఎంప్లాయీ అండ్ మేనేజర్. సో ఫర్ స్మిత్కి మేనేజర్ ఎవరంటే ఫోర్డ్ అని చెప్పారు. పర్ఫెక్ట్, హ్యాపీనా? ఓకే, ఫర్ ఫోర్డ్కి ఎవరు మేనేజర్ చెప్పండి. హూ ఈస్ ద మేనేజర్ ఫర్ ఫోర్డ్? మీరు ఆల్రెడీ పింక్ చేసి ఉంటారా. ఫోర్డ్కి జోన్స్. ఓకే, ఐ విల్ గో విత్ యువర్ ఆన్సర్. మీరు పర్ఫెక్ట్గా చెప్తారు, సో ఐ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్. జోన్స్. సో హూ ఈస్ ద మేనేజర్ ఫర్ జోన్స్? హూ ఈస్ ద మేనేజర్ ఫర్ జోన్స్? సో ఫోర్డ్కి వచ్చి 7566, 7566, 7566. జోన్స్. ఫర్ జోన్స్కి 7839, 7839. King, King, right? So now I want you to write an SQL query. I want you to write an SQL query which should return this. Each employee, who is the manager name? Who is the manager name? So employee name and corresponding manager name రావాలి నాకు. Just try for 2 minutes. Try for 2 minutes. I will give you a query. I'll explain that. Try for 2 minutes. Think for 2 minutes. Then I'll explain the query. So I want you to write a SQL query which returns employee name and his manager name. Employee name and his manager name. So here employee name is under the same column. So ename column under ename column we have both the names, right? Under ename column we have employee name, we have a manager name. Both the names are available under ename. So can you just think about other solutions except self join? Just think about other solution. Do we have any other solutions to bring employee and corresponding and his manager name? Okay, now I'll tell you. So how to get this done? Take this, I'll explain select join. Take this, open Excel. Okay, employee table, and you paste employee table over here. Two tables. Okay, employee table, and here I'm taking a employee table, same two tables. Okay, consider this as a E1 table. Consider this as a E2 table. Okay, same table in margin. Okay, now so to find out Consider these are the employee names. These are the employee names. These are names. Paste it over here. Take this. Now, to find out a Smith manager, to find out Smith manager, to find out, I want to find a manager name of a Smith, manager name of Smith, right? So now how to join? So can I join this manager number, manager column with employee ID column? That's what we all did, right? So when I asked you who is the manager for Smith, what you did internally, what you did, you took the manager number of Smith and you went to the same table. You went to the same table and just made a separate copy. And so when I asked you who is the manager for Smith, you took the manager number. You took the manager number. You went to the same table, but you compared against employee ID. Am I right? 7902. 7902. Who is the 7902 over here? 7902. 797979 797979 fourth, right? This is what you did. Now, what is a self join? Joining a table to itself, we call it as a self join. Here I am joining this table to itself. I am joining a table to itself is called a self join. So we here we don't have a separate join. So like if you are making inner join between the same table, right? If you are doing inner join, if you are joining employee table to itself by using inner join, we call it as a self join. So inner join is self join అవుతుంది. ఇప్పుడు left table, right table, same EMP table అనుకోండి, then we call it as a inner join. We call it as self join, right? Now in this particular case, can you give me the query? Now can you try? ఇప్పుడు ట్రై చేయండి. సో నేను ఒక 20% ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇచ్చాను. కెన్ యూ జస్ట్ ట్రై రైటింగ్ query now? So consider left table as E1 table, right table as E2 table, and derive employee name and manager name. Okay. So the query you can just give a try. And I took 1 day when I was learning. And so నేను ట్రై చేసినప్పుడు సెల్ఫ్ జాయిన్ అండర్స్టాండ్ చేసుకోవడం కోసం నాకు 2 days పట్టింది. మళ్ళీ 1 day పట్టింది. సారీ. From EMP as E1 inner join EMP again same table as E2 on condition చెప్తారా ఎవరైనా? On condition I'm joining employee table to itself. So now we can call this inner join as a self join. Inner join is a self join. E1 dot manager. That's what we did, right? So E1 dot manager equal to E2 dot employee ID. మీరు చేసిందే చెప్తున్నాను. Then now here select list we can mention E1 లోంచి ఏం రావాలి? E name. E2 లోంచి again E name. So first E name ఏమవుతుంది? Employee name. Second E name manager name అవుతుంది అంతేనా? So let's go on, right? Let's go to SQL Server. Just you have to crack this and after this session. So spare some time for this. You will definitely will crack it. Okay. Select from EMP table. I'm just renaming it as a E1 inner join. Here inner join is a self join. We call this a self join. There is no separate self join is available. Here a technique self join is a technique. Again I'm joining with the same table, but this is a E2 on condition E1 table లో ఉన్న manager number equal to E2 table లో ఉన్న employee ID మ్యాచ్ చేస్తే now E1 table లో ఉన్నది ఏం రావాలి? ఈ నేమ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎంప్లాయీగా కన్సిడర్ చేస్తారు ఎంప్లాయీ. ఆర్ E2 టేబుల్లో ఉన్న ఈ నేమ్ వచ్చేసి ఏమవుతుంది? మేనేజర్. ఈ కోరి ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తారు వాళ్ళు. మీరు 20 secondsలో రాయాలి ఈ నేమ్. స్మిత్ మీరు చెప్పింది కరెక్టేనా? స్మిత్కి ఫోర్డ్ వచ్చారు. ఫోర్డ్కి ఎవరు మనం చెప్పింది? జోన్సా? ఫోర్డ్ ఎక్కడ? ఫోర్డ్కి జోన్స్, జోన్స్కి కింగ్. జోన్స్కి కింగ్ మీరు చెప్పింది కరెక్టే, రైట్? ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఆన్ సెల్ఫ్ జాయిన్? This is a most frequently asked interview question. Most frequently asked interview question. I'm just giving this score in chat box. Most frequently asked interview question. Okay. Any questions? Fine. Foreign key we'll discuss in next session. So foreign key we'll discuss in next session. Thank you.
అక్కడ E1 E2 మనం ఎక్కడ మెన్షన్ చేసాం సేమ్ టేబుల్ కి ఎంప్లాయ్ టేబుల్ కి
ఇక్కడ ఉంది కదా ఈఎంపి యాజ్ ఈవన్ అలియాస్ నేమ్ తీసుకోండి అలియాస్ నేమ్స్
రైట్
తీసుకోండి
రైట్ రైట్ ఓకే
ఓకే ఫైన్ సో విల్ కనెక్ట్ ఇన్ నెక్స్ట్ సెషన్ దెన్ థ్యాంక్ యూ సో వెరీ వెరీ ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్ ఒకవేళ మీకు ఈ క్వశ్చన్ చాలా హ్యాండీగా పెట్టుకోండి సీక్వెల్ ఈ క్వశ్చన్ చాలా ఫ్రీక్వెంట్గా అడుగుతుంది ఫైన్ థ్యాంక్